In Oklahoma City 12 days ago. Hundreds have now died. Thousands have become infected. The latest figures show more than 15,000 new cases in the past week. Officials now question whether a single attack could be responsible for this outbreak pattern developing in the U.S. But they project that each 2 to 3 week period will see a minimum tenfold increase in new cases.
Okay, that's the total propaganda that was shown to feds and bureaucrats in June of 2001, right before they staged the 9/11 attacks, saying Iraq was working with the Taliban, the Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan. And I saw similar stuff being given to the public. I mean, that's how they script this crap. And then you notice they launched anthrax attacks 2 or 3 weeks later after 9/11 and tried to say Saddam did it at first. Then it turned out it was weaponized, so they tried to burn 2 or 3 different patsies. And then they finally grabbed one guy, put him in a mental institution from Fort Detrick and murdered him. And it was weaponized smallpox. So you notice they demonized the internet at the end of that. And they demonized how we didn't take our smallpox vaccines quick enough in preparation for the real attack and the push for it after that. I mean, that and that's the kind of stuff I saw on the news. That was a drill, a fake newscast the government created for Homeland Security before Homeland Security publicly existed. That's how scripted all this is. It's like when you hear about a national ID card, it means you've already had one through your driver's license for 10 years. You know, when you hear about, oh, we're now taking your blood at birth for DNA databases, been going on since 1973. Now that's public. Exactly as I told you, they've now admitted it. We have the documents. But right now, let's go to Mexico City. Let's go to Justin in Mexico City. Appreciate him answering the call to call into the show with what's happening as we track what the media is calling a burgeoning pandemic with parts of Mexico City locked down, with several states locked down inside Mexico. Justin, what can you tell us being there on the ground?
It's pretty crazy that everybody's running around with masks on, and a lot of people are panicking. I had to go to the hospital today because my wife is going to give birth, and there's people throwing up on the floor. They don't even clean it up. Just no control, I guess. Seems like it could spread really easily.
Okay, now I'm getting concerned. Let me stop you, sir. You're in Mexico City. What area? Can you tell us what hospital you visited? Because that's the emails we're getting, the emails the BBC is getting, and I have a skeleton crew here tonight. They're telling me that per hospital, it's 20 dead here, 15 dead there, with hundreds of hospitals. Are you telling me that you were at a hospital and there was people there all over sick? Tell me what you saw.
Yeah, they were. I went into the bathroom. There was a guy collapsed against the wall, pretty much like passed out. Some woman threw up. All they did was just sweep it up. They didn't even bleach it. Looked like a lot of people weren't sick, but I'm sure they will get sick there, you know.
How many people did you see? Okay, how big is this hospital? What area of Mexico City?
San Bartolo. It's in Naucalpan de Juarez. It's in the state of Mexico, just outside of Mexico City.
So it's one of the mega suburbs.
It's a public hospital. And there's at least 100 people there.
Now, 100 people there for the baby or a broken leg, or 100 people there?
Oh, no, they all had masks on. I assume like they went there because they felt sick. You know, there were people coughing, sneezing, throwing up.
Yeah, this is a weird respiratory flu. Go ahead.
Right. And, yeah, a lot of people are panicking. I mean, everywhere you go, you see that, you can see that people are scared. Just hoping that it'll pass, that it'll die down.
Well, regardless, let's just say it's some really bad flu, and it is natural, and it just so happens to be swine, bird, and human, and happen to pop up. The way the media is hyping it and pushing it, they're using this for more control, and a lot of the people in Mexico, the emails I'm getting and the articles I'm seeing are bitching about the Mexican government fear-mongering. What would you say about what the Mexican news itself is saying?
Well, I know that when I came back from work today, I talked to one of my neighbors, and he was saying that he thinks that the government did it because they don't want the people to have another revolution, just to keep their minds busy, like how before they had the chupacabra, they just make things up, so that, to keep you in your house and to, just keep you under control, like you said.
Exactly. In fact, they've been gauging that Mexico going into the summer is primed for revolution to completely, areas of the government totally collapsing, as you know. 6,500 plus tests last year online for 10,000 deaths in 2009 at current death rates 4 months into the year. Did you hear me earlier say that's one of the things we have to, in a Machiavellian way, look at? That any type of major crisis makes the government be the rallying point and centralizes their control. And that if I was a Mexican dictator under the control of the U.S. banks, the globalist banks, this is exactly the kind of crap I would pull if I was evil. And or are they just opportunistically using this? This is, but I mean, your friends separately just said this. Yeah,
I mean, just out of the blue. I mean, it kind of surprised me. You know, but I guess a lot of people feel like that, but it's under the surface, you know. But a lot of people seem to be really brainwashed, too, from the TV and the radio. It's just 24 hours a day, just, you know, just about the drug dealers and the this and that. They don't really give you any real information.
Why do you think there are so many deaths in Mexico versus not that many, well, no deaths, but there's only 12 confirmed cases right now, versus deaths here?
I don't know. It's hard to say. Maybe just the lack of health. You know, like people's health is really, you know, bad to start out with. So
you're saying in Mexico City, it's. But see, the news reports are it's wealthy people are dying. You know, and you know, there's a lot of healthy people in Mexico, especially the wealthy. I know there's a lot of poor folks who are on the edge of starvation or starving. Was it 35 million total metro, 28 million in Mexico City?
I think that's about right. But I mean, the pollution and everything to start out with, and then, you know, just the habits. You know, like, for example, I go to work and everybody shares their food. You know, like, you have to put your food onto a table and everybody grabs it with tortillas, and, you know, you shake everybody's hand and you're just really close to everybody. You go into the subway, you're packed in like sardines into the car, you know, so there's no way to really escape.
Yeah, I've only been in Mexico City one time in a layover for like 4 hours, and literally I was outside and there was like black dust that the press reported was human detritus that was dried and blowing, and I literally couldn't breathe. Now, maybe that was a bad day. I mean, how often is it like that in Mexico City?
Pretty much every day. I mean, you wake up and I can look out and I can see across the valley, but then within a few hours you can't see maybe only, you know, a few hundred feet. It's, you know, it's that bad. I mean, you can feel it. When I go, you know, back to the States, my lungs clean out, I cough everything up, and then I come back and then, you know, it's hard to breathe again.
Biggest city in the world. Biggest city in the world. Absolutely amazing. Anything else you want to add from Mexico City? We appreciate you calling. Any other key pieces of data? It says there's troops everywhere, video of that they're locking down different states to the north to block people fleeing. Is that being reported on Mexican TV?
Well, the troops have been here for a long time. I mean, it seems like they've been using them more and more from what I've seen, just, you know, patrolling the streets. And so... Yeah. I
mean, specifically, what are they saying? Because the press is reporting they're locking down Mexico City.
I don't know. I mean, I went to work today and we went to the hospital. I wouldn't say that it's locked down. I mean, there's probably a lot of soldiers around, and I guess if it gets worse, it could, you know, it could go to that. But,
okay.
Definitely tense.
Yeah, we're trying to confirm the reports we've gotten in emails and calls that from Mexico that they're blocking the northern states. What are there, 4 northern states from the central and southern states?
Probably. I don't know. Just all I know is, you know, what's going on right here.
All right. Well, we're praying for everybody down there, but we've got our own problems. It just started spreading here, and it's in San Antonio. It's in suburbs of Austin. It's in Kansas. It's in Canada. It's in New York. So I hope this thing isn't as deadly. Last question. 68 deaths as of this morning. That's what I saw this morning early. And then it stayed at that number, 68 deaths in just like the last day. Now we've got Mexican doctors in the BBC reporting 200-plus deaths. What are you hearing on that front?
As far as I know, it's like about 60. But it's really hard to say because there's really not very good record keeping here, especially in the smaller towns. You know, or someone could just die and not even go to the hospital.
Okay, thank you. Absolutely. Well, do me a favor. I'll be live tomorrow, 4 to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. We will go directly to you and anybody else from Mexico City, anybody from San Antonio, anybody. We just had a caller who can see the lights of the sports stadium at the suburb of the town in San Antonio that they're shutting down the school. I've got the AP on that. So please call me tomorrow. I'll be giving the number out, and we'll be live 4 to 6 p.m., okay?
All right. Okay, thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to blitz through calls now. We have another call from Mexico. Okay, Wiley in Mexico. Go ahead. You're on the air, Wiley.
Hi. I think
Welcome.
a lot of this is overblown about this Mexico stuff. Hi. I think a lot of this about this Mexico stuff is overblown. I don't think it's as bad as what everybody's trying to make it out to be.
We hope you're right. Tell us.
We're in the Yucatan.